You're listening to the Unlocking Women in Leadership podcast, a conversation with yours truly, Slindile. Well, hey there, friend. It's your host, Slindile. Really excited to talk about today's conversation. Writing a book is definitely not for the faint-hearted. If you don't know at this point, I finally finished writing my fourth book, Coaching Leaders for Impact, and it is now available for pre-order on Amazon or on my website, www.slindilebaloy.com/Coaching Leaders for Impact. It literally took everything out of me because it is the book about everything that I wanted and I would have liked to see when I first started my coaching and consulting business. As an author now, I have incorporated my experience in corporate and marketing and communications, as an employee with government, as someone who has traveled and started a business, and applied that into what I believe are key coaching and leadership strategies to help you build your personal brand, win others, and accelerate your leadership performance. A lot of my training also includes leadership development, strategic leadership, but for today, I just wanted to talk about how to build today with your future in mind. I know for some of you, you have a message and a book inside of you that you have been dying to write for a very long time. Listen, this fourth book took me way longer to write than the other books because it was a culmination of my marketing, communications, as well as skills in writing books and branding myself and sharing your message out there so that you monetize your message and amplify your voice. One thing I've learned in doing all of this for over 2 decades now is that you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your story. You have to know the message you want to communicate. And you have to believe that you are worth sharing that story with the world. What does that have to do with the Unlocking Women in Leadership? Well, the thing is, when you are in a leadership position, the very core of leadership is about personal development. It's about personal development growth. It's about how you grow yourself. It's about how you grow others. And it's about how you are perceived as you increase in authority. Today, I really wanted to talk about helping you build today with your future in mind. That is, helping you write your book with your future in mind. Treat that book as a business. Treat it as a priority because the reality is your next breakthrough is hidden in the message that you have to speak. Your next level of growth is hidden in the story that you have to share and the skills and the expertise that you have to teach, which should be in your book. Writing books for me started out, I guess, I used to journal. I never thought I would write books. But then when I felt called to writing a book, I then got a message. And the thing is, this fourth book has a different message than the very first book that I wrote. That first book is called Goodbye Limits, Hello Breakthrough. And that book was to help individuals who were stuck in areas of discouragement, feeling that they didn't have a future, didn't know how to pursue their dreams, and needed to break through to elevate to their next level. This book, Coaching Leaders for Impact, is coaching and leadership strategies to help leaders, managers, coaches, consultants who want to build their personal brand, who want to influence and impact their teams, as well as accelerate their leadership growth. And guess what? Monetize their message. That means start a coaching business, or if you have a coaching business, apply the strategies that I've used and implemented to build and grow your coaching business. What does it mean to begin with the future in mind. If we're not careful, we get caught up in the mundane, especially now that we are, can you believe it, in the month of May as at this recording. And the goals and strategies that we wrote or thought about in January are moved. For some of us, where our financial year end was at the end of March, April begins a new year. With it comes new strategies, new goals, new targets, new shifts, new employees, new promotions, new roles. And if you don't have a specific life strategy or your future in mind, you will get caught up in the mundane. I want to read something that I wrote in Coaching Leaders for Impact, and it's titled Built Today with Your Future in Mind. One of the things that I've found is that you need to have personal short-term goals which are aligned to your long-term vision. And you need to be accountable to those goals. You see, a lot of us write down these incredible vision and mission statements, and then we don't apply the right strategies and goals and tactics to meet that vision. So have personal short-term goals that are aligned to your long-term vision, and then be accountable to those goals. Write down your goals daily. I write down my goals daily. It may seem repetitive, but somehow in writing it down, I remind myself why I'm in my business. I remind myself why I'm an author. I remind myself what the mission and the purpose is about, so that I don't get caught up in comparison and up the corporate ladder rat race. So write down your goals daily and have them visible to help you build your legacy. The other thing to do to build yourself for the future is look for problems that you can solve. As an entrepreneur, you need to understand that you're in the business to provide a solution to someone else's pain point. So look for problems that you can solve. They may be big problems, but start small. For me, writing Coaching Leaders for Impact was I looked for a problem that needed to be solved. And the problem was, when you get into the coaching and consulting business as an author, in the beginning, you do not realize that you can monetize your message in such a way that your business becomes your voice. Your business becomes your books. Your business becomes the relationships and the engagements that you have because of your message. And so the problem that I am solving is that I want professionals who are looking to enter into the coaching space to know that they are an expert. They can have credibility and authority, and they can use that expert knowledge to monetize their brand, build their businesses, and make money doing it in the comfort of their own skin. Great leaders are those who look for solutions to problems, and they run toward the issue, not away from them. As a leader, instead of complaining about the issues, resolve them as best as you can. Another way to build today with your future in mind is to create a structure in your personal life. Let me pause right there. When we are in leadership, executive leadership positions, somehow we disconnect our personal life, which to some degree we should, because our job performance requires us to deliver value that the organization wants, right? The thing is, you are still a human being. You are still an individual who has and is impacted by your personal life. You are possibly a mom. You're possibly a dad. You are a daughter of an aging parent. You are a wife. You are someone who is probably going through a divorce. You are someone who is thinking of transitioning from your role, moving cities, going to another state, whatever that is for you. Your personal life does impact how you lead. Your personal life impacts the way you engage at work. Your personal life affects your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, your physical state of mind, as well as your spiritual well-being. So create a structure in your personal life. Part of enhancing your leadership growth is the ability to have a structure for what success looks like for you. That could be success in your marriage, that could be success in your finances, that could be success with leading your team, that could be success in reaching your marketing targets and marketing goals. I can tell you from personal experience that as a leader of over 2 decades now, that real transformation happens when there's structure and a consistent routine in your personal life. Without structure in our lives or our businesses, we become reactive to the environment we're called to serve rather than be proactive to it. So move toward your future. Here are some leadership growth questions that I have for you that I've also included in the Coaching Leaders for Impact book. And the first is, what is your why? I know we've heard it said, and there's been books written about what your why is, but if you honestly don't know what it is that drives you, if you don't have a vision for your future, you can't really plan for something you don't see. So ask yourself, what is my why? The second question is, what motivates you? At work, at home, in your personal life? What motivates you to create? What motivates you to move the needle forward in your business? What motivates you to have passion for what you do? What motivates you to reach your goals? What's your passion? What are your personal interests? What are you doing right now to prepare yourself for the future? What influences you? How does your role in your industry shape who you are? And how has your position transformed you this past month, this past week, this past year? And what are your key focus areas for the next 6 months? These are all questions geared to help you build today with the future in mind. I know when I wrote Coaching Leaders for Impact, it was a strategic decision that I took to write the kind of book that will generate income for the long run. It wasn't the kind of book, my first book, my second book as well, is more spiritual inclined, and it is to help you build your spirituality to understand who you are and your identity in the spirit. This book, because I'm a business owner, I wanted to write something that will help future business owners who are wanting to step into the realm of expert knowledge, creativity, and author space to become something bigger than they ever dreamed. It's a book that allows you to see the possibilities that exist when you believe in your message. So for me, my story really started when I took the leap of faith in 2005 to leave South Africa to go to another country, New York City. Long story, but in that journey, I discovered my true identity and my true purpose, and that was in becoming an author and establishing authority in that space. So how did I get moving toward my dream goals, you might ask? I discovered my true calling, purpose, and passion to inspire others to transform their lives and reach their goals through my message. It began with journaling, as I said at first, then believing in what I was writing, then believing that my writing and message had value, and then living out that value and vision by taking incremental steps to trust that vision and the people I was surrounded with to help me on my growth journey. The truth is, friend, being a leader is all about knowing how to love yourself, love people, and then grow yourself. So in every situation, you have the option to love yourself, to grow yourself, to empathize with people, and grow yourself. I hope today was super helpful in helping you position yourself and build with the future in mind. Where you are right now, that you are not caught in the mundane of doing work and just going through the motions, forgetting that you also need to establish your personal goals and make sure that they are aligned with your long-term vision. So you have a book in mind. You have a desire to write a book. You have that as your future in mind. What are your next steps? My advice to you would be to look at your calendar. If you are an executive leader, if you are someone in the expert space, if you are already someone who is coaching and consulting, I bet your calendar is pretty packed. So start out by looking at your calendar and see whether or not you have the capacity, first of all, with your current calendar, the way it looks, to begin to write your book. If you don't, clear out space in your calendar and prioritize writing your book. Slot in the time slots that you believe you will have the time to write your book, and whether you write for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but do it consistently over the next month. That will get you started and get you writing your book. You don't have to think about your topic right now. You don't necessarily have to think about the flow. You just need to get started to write. Writing begins with the overflow. So when you're able to put down your thoughts on paper, you will get yourself writing consistently. So that's the first thing. If you have a plan to eventually write your book and use that dream book to catapult you into your next level in your coaching business, then prioritize your book. That is my action step for you, is to look at your calendar, schedule time in your calendar, prioritize writing your book, and then be accountable for that. The second thing that I'd like you to do is tell people that you are the author of an upcoming book. The reason I say that is that it does two things. It shifts your mindset, and it also allows people to become aware of the fact that you are about to write a book. It makes you accountable so that you can fulfill that promise that you said. Until you say you are the author of an upcoming book, you'll keep talking about writing, and that dream will be a pipe dream way, way, way in the distant future. Until you literally put it in your calendar, tell people that you are the author of an upcoming book, and you make yourself accountable for what you say as well as the time slots that you've scheduled, you're on the way to get started with your book. If you're looking for ways to help you get started with your book, I'm your girl. So check out my website, www.slindilebelloy.com. There you can figure out how to work with me. You can either join my coaching program, which is called the Author Brand Accelerator, which is all about helping experts, emerging coaches, aspiring authors package their skill and knowledge and expertise in a book, as well as grow as leaders. Or you can work with me as a book coach and leadership coach, where I coach you one-on-one, and I follow a coaching philosophy that I apply. It's a curriculum that we work through for 2 to 3 months. So do check out my website, www.slindilebelloy.com, for ways we can work together. Thank you so much for listening. You need to know that I am so excited to be back again with this weekly podcast. Until next time, friend, bye for now.